guys, welcome to today's video. Today we are playing our third Batman game. This one's another Sunsoft one. So we've had the disappointing one, we've had a really good one. Let's see where this one falls in all of this, shall we? Alright, so no fast forwarding. We could just pass it and stop it right away, but we can't fast forward through the thing and make it go faster. Alright, this is cheesy. It looks like Micro Batman. I mean, controls are decent, but he just looks so goofy. Alright, so there's no parkouring that we can see yet. Let's see, what do we got? Can't change weapons, at least not at the moment. We don't have any limit on our firing. But, I mean, also, why is Batman firing a gun anyways? Alright, they have it there, but he doesn't have the capability of jumping that high. There is no firing anything upward. Oh god, I can't get over how they did him so dirty. Like, why did they have to compact it? Why do we have so much space up top? It makes no sense and there's no need for it. They could have enlarged all of this. Like, this is insanely silly. Alright, so we do see that these blow up. I'm hitting... We have two different weapons, but I'm not seeing any way of selecting it. I've been trying... Start doesn't do anything. Select doesn't do anything. See, there's another one right there. But again, we can't jump high enough for that. Oh, we can blow up all of them. Okay. Fair enough. Hey, we're learning. But only the dark ones give us power-ups. Alright, so that's how we get it. Enemy AI's not very good. Jumping is not overly responsive. There seems to be sometimes lag, sometimes it just doesn't jump at all. We picked up two different weapons or items or whatever, but we have no way of changing over that I can see yet. Ah. There's items here. Alright, I mean, fine, take some liberties, I guess, but, I mean, we're getting a little out of the scope of being a good Batman game, and now we're just kind of being, I don't know, now we're just the name. frankly, I feel like they could have done, if they wanted to do all this, instead of using a Batman license, just create your own IP at this point. Alright, so now we have a wave gun. But yeah, he still can't jump. Batman can't jump. Alright, so that just upgrades our weapon. But we haven't been able to figure out any way of actually jumping up anyway. And you can't go back. So there's like some weird things in this that don't fully make sense. I mean, I guess there's a couple things over there. I mean, they're doing a lot with the game, but it just doesn't really fit the Batman, you know? I mean, it's fine if you had your own IP, if they did something that wasn't Batman. This would be a good, just decent quality game as is. We can't walk up the stairs. You literally have to jump up the stairs. But so far, it's like the enemies are pretty boring. The wave actually sucks for trying to do some stuff. Level design looks good. I mean, it looks good. It plays fine. The wave kind of sucks. This does have a feel. I've been trying to place the game that this kind of feels like, with the way like we're blowing up blocks and all that stuff. And like the way some of the weapons feel. It reminds me of a couple different games, but I'm just having a hard time placing them. The jumping is not as good as you'd like it to be, especially as a jump-heavy platformer. It's just not really there. Like, they're all this stuff, and then they're making it such a like, I don't understand their reasoning and their thought process behind the way they did the game. Like I said, where everything is such a expansion up above, which I don't feel is necessary. But like, they do all this, and then they have the roof that's like so close in so many spots because they, for whatever reason, now they want to fill the space. It's like now they want to fill the space unnecessarily. So now we're in this very small thing where we bump our head on everything. Oh. So the P gives us a thicker bullet. Again, why is Batman shooting guys? I don't understand. And then here we are with we can't jump. Okay, so like, they have all these spots where there's weapons and everything, but it's like almost impossible to get to them. We can barely do that jump. How are we supposed to get over there on the other one? It's just, some of this game doesn't make sense. And some of it is just, I don't... feels like poorly done. Like, as a whole, the game is decent. You know, it doesn't have some of the bells and whistles as, like, the other actual Batman games. And like I said, it doesn't really fit Batman. And now this weapon sucks, because look at how short range it is. At least they are starting to upgrade some of the weapons, or the enemies a little bit. Like I said, the jumping isn't great. You can't shoot diagonally, which, I mean, you don't expect that much, especially in a lot of these games. Like, a diagonal shot is almost like a rarity. These enemies seem fairly intelligent to a point. I mean, it's nice that they're adding a few new enemies, but they're still keeping most of the generic ones around. Gotta shoot the ball. Alright. Oh, hey. We got jumping robots. At least they're different. I mean, the more unique enemies that they add, the better like a game feels. Instead of killing the same 2 enemies over and over again through 15 levels. There we go, we have the actual ranged weapon. Batarang, that's kind of cool. Is that an extra life? It is. Well, they are making the platforming kind of crazy a little bit, which is decent. Like I said, if they actually had the jump working better, I don't actually want the end. I actually kind of like the Batarangs. Oh, the one time he jumps really good, right? I don't know. If you overlook the fact that it's a Batman game, and you just take it for what it is, like, this is a really decent game, a decent platformer. Okay, that is the downside of the Batarangs. Is got to be careful with them because they are boomerangs. So you got to wait. You can use it to your advantage, but of course they do have the drawbacks. But I feel because of that, they have a ability to do certain things that you might want later on. don't really need it because we didn't get hit. We're like I said, we're gonna keep this. Aha, we. The only thing to this is it goes in a straight line, and it doesn't like kind of boomerang back towards you to where you can use that more to your advantage. So this one doesn't have the infinite like health, like, or not health, but lives like some of them are. Where as long as you keep getting that extra life, it's always there. This one is not doing that, but that's okay. All right, we're at the boss. For some reason, we're only having one shot now instead of two. Ah, that... Oh, he jumped when I jumped. Oh, come on. Ah, oh, that's unfortunate. Where do we continue at? 1-3, huh? We do continue with our actual weapon intact. We'll do one more. I want to know why we only got one shot now. What caused us to... Alright, maybe we do get rid of the battering. It's starting to cause more problems than it's worth. Especially now that we lost one of our batterings. Like, it has power. It's a decent weapon. But the fact that it is only shooting one... Jesus, we took so much more damage now. Oh, come on! Ah, we oopsie. Like I said, the jumping, like, all in all, it's not terrible, but you do notice a couple things. Did I just get Shorty? Yeah, I got the damn Shorty. The Shorty's stronger, but has very limited range. The Short is kind of like the battering and whatever the N is combined. Where it's got the power, but no range. Oh, come on, fire. The N's got some range, but not as much firepower. I don't know what the R does. Extra life, yeah. Whoa! Almost felt like we weren't going to clear that. Probably shouldn't keep it, but I... I don't know what that is, but trying to get it is going to be not worth it, I don't think. I think B gives us some extra power, firepower. See, that's the battering. I think we're going to bypass that for the boss. I guess it's too late now anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But given the fact that we only shoot 2 bullets anyways... Good God! Jesus, the dude took some shots, didn't he? So the birth of Joker in this one, that's kind of cool. And in my opinion, the best Joker. The Jack Nicholson Joker, I honestly, that might get some things, but he was always my favorite. Like, Heath Ledger did a great job, like, don't get me wrong, but I did not really... He was just a different Joker. I don't know. After watching the Jack Nicholson Joker, whoa! Oh, son of a... We saw it. We went to jump, and we did not get to jump well. Come on. I guess we're fat fingering it today because I went to move and I don't think I've ever done that thing, but this time I'm like, instead of moving, I ducked and just sat there like an idiot. Yeah, the response time in this game does not signal better, good enough to where it's stuff like this when you're trying to just do a jump, 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 it is not registering. In a lot of games it does. In this one, it really does not do it properly. Like, you literally have to pause. Like, you know, some games are programmed well enough where you can literally just bounce, bounce, bounce. This one, you have to let go of all buttons. I don't know what I was thinking on that one. I was expecting that, and you get in that habit, and you just go. All in all, minus the Lego fat short Batman, like, the game itself, if you ignore the fact that it's a Batman game, which honestly it really shouldn't be, like, this should have just been its own IP, its own fun little game, because Batman should not be shooting enemies with guns. Like, everything about that is just wrong in so many levels. Like, every other Batman game, for the most part, you know, you do your fist, you got a batarang, the kind of... I mean, I know that it's such a petty little nuanced thing that's kind of stupid, but, like, if you're going to go by everything, then, you know, having him, the entire game is him just shooting everything, it kind of doesn't feel like a Batman, other than the fact that you have a squat, little, short Batman. And that brings me to the second part of the thing is, like, they shortened everything. It's like they did everything and then they improperly sized everything down to where he looks goofy, and then they have so much space up above that for 80% of the game is just empty space. And, you know, sometimes they fill it up unnecessarily, where they could have actually brought everything down to a decent size, made Batman actually look like a statuesque figure instead of a Lego figure, and really kind of brought the game more into where it doesn't have to expand so high up with empty space. And on that note, also, they put so many things that are pretty much out of reach. I mean, there's got to be some goofy little thing you might be able to do that I didn't figure out. But for the most part, there's a lot of stuff that is completely out of reach that there is no possibility of getting. You can't go back, so you can't go find a perch and then go back to where you were to go up there. There's a lot of spots that you can't jump that high. You don't have the grappling hook. You don't have the parkouring on this one. So it's a very basic thing. The whole like kind of blocks everywhere that you blow up and has a couple power-ups and stuff. Again, not a problem, actually decent, but it doesn't need to be a Batman IP. Like I said, the way everything feels, the way everything is, it would have been good just to have something unique in and of its own self. Where throwing a Batman IP on there to sell copies of the game, this game definitely is far better than the first one we played with their poorly done grappling and parkour. Like removing all of that and getting back to basic as far as a kind of shooting platformer, this is a much, much, much better game in all regards to the first one, and even to a point a little bit on the second one, minus a couple of the glaring issues with the fact that the way they programmed it, being able to constantly do quick jumping is not there. It's like because of the parkour where you were doing that, taking out some of that code and retweaking everything, made it to where it does not register multiple jumps quick enough. So in the spots like we were at in the second level where you have to jump and jump and jump, you have to literally jump, let go of all buttons, pause for a quick second, and do it again. So you actually have to, spend a second of doing nothing and just taking a breather instead of being able to quickly escalate yourself out of the equation. But, that really shouldn't be a huge issue once you get the hang of, not trying to do it and you learn to take a sec, do it, take a sec, do it. That's not an issue. I think the biggest thing is the jumping overall feels a little unpolished, a little unfinished, and they could have done a little bit better. But as far as the game goes, it really actually is not bad at all. I don't know if there's infinite continues or not. We haven't seen a number, but we've seen on multiple games where you just like continue, oh, that's just game over without really giving you a feel for everything. But all in all, it's definitely a fun, playable game. Wish they could have tweaked a few things where they got rid of most of the dead space up top, shortened the game down a little bit, made it a little bit more fluent and enjoyable. Like, they really did do a decent enough job on enemy design where they did mix things up, even though, like, all the robots kind of felt the same, even though they looked a little different. But all in all, not bad. The enemy AI on some of them were decent. Most of them just pathing. But the jumping and a lot of stuff, they actually did a little more work on it. As we see, instead of where, maybe a different sprite, but doing the exact same thing does not really make an enemy. So the fact that they did have them all kind of moving and doing a few different things was decent. Weapons, like, there's enough little bit of variety that you can kind of pick and choose how you want to do it. Nothing really over the top to state, but not bad. The kind of the battering gun is kind of interesting and not bad. All in all, definitely a playable game, definitely a pretty fun game, a very enjoyable game, like I said, way better than the first one, almost slightly at the same range as the second one, even though that the Konami game was more refined, was more polished. I think this one plays a little bit better, just a little, like, even with the fact that they had the grappling and which didn't work as well as it could have. You couldn't swing, you couldn't do some things. The parkouring was really well done, but once you do that, you start relying on it way too much to the point where you wind up playing a parkour game, then a Batman game kind of feels. So going back to basics almost makes a game a little bit more enjoyable because you don't have to sit there and keep doing the exact same, well, parkour did this, parkour did it, like that. Yeah, we're jumping, but that's every game. So moving past that, the gameplay is simplistic, good for all ages, but still a lot of fun and well done. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Till next time, you guys have a good one.